Welcome to Artists and the City, where we talk about art with the emerging artists in New York City. Today we have Zara Cimone as a guest.
Hello,
How are you,
hello.
Zara? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am freezing my ass off.
I have layers on.
Can you tell me what the hell is going on right now?
So right now I am making my final painting, portrait painting of Minji, painting her. Yeah, it's going good, I think, so far.
Yeah, I am sitting at this beautiful art studio in Hunter's College, and I'm sitting for Zara's portrait project for her finals. And it's weird to be sitting still. I'm not a very still person.
No. It's true.
Yeah, but it's really, I don't know, meditative to be
still.
still.
Yeah.
Are you a still person?
I feel like I am a still person.
Mm.
I like my quiet time.
Yeah, that makes you very much like a painter, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Are painters, am I the quiet painterly type?
Well, for the listeners, could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Zara Cimone. I am a New York or Brooklyn-based visual artist. I am also an art student and an art teacher at the moment I'm an after-school art teacher for K-5 elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So I am an art student, but I am also a psychology student. So
Right.
in this program I'm in at school, it's called the CUNY BA program. I am studying humanistic and counseling psychology and studio art mixed media. So I get to learn painting, I get to learn sculpture and ceramics, taking that next semester.
Mm-hmm.
And also learn about psychology and hoping to turn that into art therapy in the future.
Mm. Well, let's break down a couple of things.
Okay.
So you're learning a bunch of different mediums of art through this
Yes.
program. Is that correct?
Yes.
But you identify yourself as a painter, though.
I identify as a painter for the moment. I feel like painting is the beginning of when I started doing art and what I enjoy the most. I feel like right now I've only taken one sculpture class so far in the rest of what I'm going to be taking soon, but painter for now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do other things, but I might stay a painter.
Yeah. I remember your sculpture work, though.
Yeah.
What was that? The 7-Up?
Yes. So I made a big gulp 7-Eleven cup in my
You just have to choose that, huh?
I don't remember what the trigger was, but I was not happy with the food industry
Okay.
in this country. So
Turned out it was an activism.
Yeah, that was like an activist kind of work. So it was a big 7-Eleven cup made out of plaster and wood and chicken wire and stuff like that. But it was mainly plaster, and on the back of it, I painted a ton of terrible ingredients like whole wheat flour and red 40 and blue 2 and corn syrup, high fructose corn, all of that was on the 7-Eleven cup.
I did not know about the details.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever posted the whole thing.
I just thought that it was just very.
No!
I just thought that it was very you thing. Because you're a very analog person.
Yeah.
Like
my analog watch.
You're like what?
I'm just kidding.
19 and you listen to 70s music.
Yeah, I've been trying to open up with my music taste lately. I've been making an effort, but
like how? Like what are you listening to?
I re-downloaded Spotify because my MP3 player is no longer working. Who listens to an MP3 player? I haven't listened to Fishbone in so long, so now I feel like I'm listening to like Afro beats and a lot of Willow Smith. So more modern music.
Yeah, I can see you listening to Willow Smith.
I was jamming to her today.
Yeah. But tell us about your art style.
My art style is a never-ending battle right now.
What's a big sigh though?
I really I've been wanting to have a defined art style, even though that's like not something that I'm like that I should be going for, I feel like. But the way that I want my work to look right now is not where it's at, but I feel like it'll get there. I feel like it'll get there soon because I feel like I'm exploring abstraction a little bit right now. And how I want my work to look, I want it to be kind of abstract and kind of loose, but also be able to create scenes in that looseness and in portraits. But right now, I feel like my painting has been academic and just trying to make everything look great, look perfect, I feel like, and it's a battle. So I'm working on it.
I didn't know that. I mean, you told me about the inner battle about finding your style, but from my point of view, I feel like it's becoming more apparent in a way.
Really?
Yeah, because people, when you're in it, you just don't know that you're in the battle. You're evolving.
That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, like if I were to dare to explain your art style, I think I love your portrait works in general, like very beautiful, nice portraits.
Wow.
You have a beautiful model right now, so hard to fail. But you have so many like great portrait works, and then you interpret human structure in a very interesting way, and I really love that. The first one and then you have like collages too.
Yeah, I guess I do have that.
Yeah. You don't know how you're done with your collage work? Collage era?
No, I feel like I've been wanting to get back into it, but not sure how to. It's been really interesting, like in terms of school and learning all this technical stuff. I feel like I can get lost in the technicality and instead of like having fun with creating. And I know like when I was doing collages, that was like before doing art in school. So
also you were exploring and having fun. You're having fun.
Yeah.
Do you have fun right now? Are you having fun?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. I just don't know what I want to paint. But, we'll get there. So it's okay. That's why I'm in school.
Yeah. But you are also learning psychology too, so it kind of like balances out, right?
Yeah. It does. Right now I'm taking 3 psychology classes. It's very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. And like I said, I'm trying to go into art therapy, so that's like half of what I'm doing. I mean, right now it's not half because I'm taking 4 total classes. But
how long have you been wanting to be in art therapy?
I think since like last year in maybe like March. Yeah, because when I first started going to school, I went for psychology.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I love the human mind. It's so interesting.
Wait, so that was the first major you chose?
That was the first major I chose.
Not art.
No, I wanted to do psychology. It's like, oh, I want to just keep art for like a hobby, and that's true to a certain extent. But the next semester I switched to art, and then I took a break from school.
Why'd you switch to art?
They tried to make me take a biology class.
For psychology?
I had a meltdown.
For psychology?
For psychology.
That's weird.
I was like, bro, I took this in high school. I can't do this again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I switched to doing both last semester.
Yeah. I can see like the future value, so much value in art therapy though. I think I started art as like painting or drawing as some sort of therapy for myself. So I can see why it could be so helpful for people. Yeah. I was going through a breakup. It's per usual. Just every single time I go through a breakup and make a shit ton of stuff.
Hey, good art comes from that. I love your work.
coming from suffering and torture.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Jeez.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was painting a bunch of. That's where my dick art started. Cause
I remember.
I sketched it. The 5 axis dick, and
I was at the show.
cut it in half. I cut that shit.
Oh, shit.
When he hurt me, I'm like, I am cutting this dick off. So I cut this, and then I got even still mad. I was still mad, right? So I made a collage of myself chopping his head off, like a Judith. Do you know Judith?
I think. Wait, what?
Judith.
Judith.
It's like a art rhetoric in a way. Like Judith is like someone who beheaded a man.
Okay. The story sounds familiar.
Yes. So there is like a Klimt's Judith too. And other artists have different interpretation of Judith. And I wanted to create Judith because I wanted to kill this man. So I chopped his head off, and I chopped more of his dick and put that on a plate. And I drew my portrait, and she's like, she has blood around her mouth. Sounds goth.
I remember. I know the painting. I know the painting.
That one? Yes. So, anyways, going back to therapy, that was very therapeutic moment. Just to chop people's dick off. Yes.
It sounds therapeutic.
It was, but am I very wrong to do it? I don't know.
I mean, no. I wouldn't say so. I mean, created some art from an experience. That's all you can do.
Yeah. But you talked about being in school. Creating in school is different while creating outside of school. Can you tell us more about it? Like, how is it to be learning to be a painter at school?
It's very interesting. I find the works that like the professors will show us. Though all the professors here, they can like name hundreds of artists just off of the top of their heads, and I aspire to be like that one day. I haven't been on my art history, but I really like the knowledge that they have, and in terms of learning like how to paint academically, it's been hard. I wouldn't say that it's not. I feel like when I first started doing art, I was kind of doing abstract work, and then I came here and we were like, still life, and I was like, why no? So, but starting from somewhere, it'll teach you different ways of thinking about art and looking at a subject. So I can't complain about the experience. It's just, it can be, depending on the type of artist you are, it can be challenging in terms of keeping your own self and developing your own style, rather than getting lost in the critiques and what makes good art, stuff like that. So,
how do you feel about being criticized, getting critiques from professors?
I honestly, depends on my mood. It definitely depends on my mood, because like normally I'll come in here and I'm like ready to absorb whatever my professor is saying, but sometimes I'm just like, I just want to paint, and I don't want to know what you think about, not even what you think about it, but I don't want to know other things to think about while I'm trying to paint something. Yeah, it depends on my mood.
I feel like it sounds harsh. It sounds harsh to me, because like I get criticized about my art all the time by my mom, and that ruined it. I mean, that it was not ruined is like a strong word, but like that really hurt me. Just like having one person's opinion matters.
Yeah, it's tough. But the good thing about, at least for school critiques, is that they're not saying whether they like or dislike your work.
They don't say that.
They don't say that.
What do they say?
They say, I'm noticing this in here, and using all of the academic words like, oh, the composition of this piece in the background goes really well with how this is angled in it. And I'm wondering what you're going to bring into the. It's not like, oh, I hate this piece because, I don't know, it has a dick on it or something like that.
In fact, she liked dicks, okay? She was like, this is pretty.
Oh my God. Wait, she said that.
Yeah, she was like, the Campbell Soup series. She was like, this is pretty. I like it. Yeah, thank you.
It was great. I thought it was great. It was very creative.
Thank you. I'm retiring. I'm gonna go back to my flowers.
That's fair. You're very good at making flowers. I like your flowers.
Yeah, I love flowers. I think flowers. I think the reason why I resonate with your pieces is because I love portraits and flowers. So, like, I like doing portraits with some sort of like a flowery embellishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like painting. I like flowers. I haven't painted a whole lot of flowers, but I really like flowers.
Yeah. Do you feel like the street art scene is a little different from the academic art scene? That
Oh,
you're
for
also,
sure. There's a lot of talented artists in this that go to this school. Everybody is. It's incredible. It's nice to be able to be like in the same room as emerging creators. And I was talking to Samir actually the other month or the other week or something like that.
Yeah, Samir is actually our friend of a pod.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but he was saying like, I think we were at Art Battle, and he was saying like you can look around and the people that you know now could be people in textbooks in 20 years. And it's like, it's so true. And that just made me think about it. I was like, I really like the way you think, one, already. And two, it's like, that's so true. Because, like, I mean, we're living in the present, but you just never know where life will take you. So,
Yeah. If you were to be in a textbook, what would you be there for?
I would do painting. But I think I would do painting, and actually, I would do everything.
Okay.
Painting, sculpture, and ceramics. I want to do like bronze casting or bronze sculpting, and I want to be able to do ceramics and make vases and stuff like that. But I also like want to develop my painting. And
You know, like, do you know Giacometti? He's a white guy. You don't have to know him, but he's
Oh my God.
he does sculpture and paint. He's more well known for being sculpture. He has very long forms of sculpting. It's very unique, and then his drawings are very similar. But I also, she's this. Do you know this lady who made a gigantic, huge spider? Her name is Louisiana something. Like she's like French.
No.
Gigantic spider.
That's
Oh my god, I want to know her name. Oh shit.
dang.
But
I don't know
she's also did painting or like drawings, and those are not spiders. She didn't draw spiders, but she's known for a gigantic spider sculpture, but her painting was something completely different.
What was
like
it?
houses.
She made houses that looked like spiders?
She drew houses, and she sculpted spiders.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why
What was-
spiders.
her name is on the top of my tongue. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look it up for you. Anyways, I think you can totally be a sculptor and a painter.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
I guess that's kind of where I want to be at
Yeah?
too. You know?
You want to do sculpting?
Huh?
You want to do sculpture?
No, hell no. It's just painter and comedic personality.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to do that too.
Yeah. I do think this generation, not this generation, but the people in the art scene now, we're going to make it work. For sure. There's a lot of great artists
Yeah.
So.
But so you briefly talked about the art battle. Can you explain what that is?
Oh yeah, so art battle, basically 4 artists are given a theme and a time limit to live paint, and then the audience decides whose they like the most.
Mm-hmm. And you beat me.
Yeah.
we were in the same. we were in the same battle.
Yeah.
And that was a really fun time.
Way back when. I really enjoyed that. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was a great
fun
day. And then you were at the final.
Yes, the
for
finals
the
were
season.
interesting.
Yeah.
Finals were interesting.
I thought it was a very bold move because you brought up oil painting to the art battle.
Yeah, I wanted to try. I felt like I was like, oh, I really like oil right now because this is advanced painting that I'm in right now.
Mm.
I took regular painting same time last semester, so I was like, I really want to do oil paint right now, and tried it.
I think you're enjoying it a lot.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think you do.
Yeah.
I remember your first piece. I don't think it's your first piece, but like the oil piece that I saw for the first time was of your sisters.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I loved how the lighting worked out throughout the painting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That was based on a photographer. She did a model shoot for somebody, my sister did, and I painted the picture.
How is oil paint for listeners who don't know much about the difference between oil painting and acrylic paint? How are those two different?
How are they? Well, I mean, it's a completely different material, but I really think that anybody can learn how to do it in a not taking a whole lot of time to learn how to do it, but I feel like people can learn how to do it. In terms of how it's different from acrylic dries insanely fast to me now. Before, I would try blending colors with acrylic and I'd be like, oh, it's no problem, but now that I'm doing oil and I can come back to it 2 weeks later and still be able to work into it, I like it a lot. It works well for me. Might not work well for street artists, maybe different medium, different style of art, but I mean, that's one thing. With oil, you have different solvents. So there's Gamsol. There's different. I feel like there's different ways that you can make the paint. Different ways you can make the paint work for you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with acrylic, you can do that too, but I feel like you don't have to change the way that the paint feels in order to put it onto the canvas. If that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that.
I think the fact that oil dries it takes a longer time for the oil painting to dry, right?
Yeah.
So that's adding to one technicality of it. But I like the depth of it. I like the depth that oil painting provides. And I think that's what I liked about the shading and blending. I think that with oil, it makes it easier to show the depth of the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And the thing is, also, you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. But I do like what you're able to do in terms of the depth and
I was mostly oil painting. I tried to focus on oil painting when I was in Korea, and I didn't bring them here with me.
Oh.
But I do miss it a bit. I do miss oil painting.
Yeah, that's definitely true. After you try it, you'll be oh my god, I love it.
I just love how I'm learning about different methods of painting through other friends. Samir totally taught me a lot about painting on clothes. And then I asked you so many questions about oil painting. So I feel like having these artist friends around me. I feel like having these artist friends around me helped me grow so much.
Yeah, that's, that's very true, and it's cool also because I mean, I haven't seen anything like the adult extracurricular that is the art scene out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's great that there's so many artists around that you can just meet and just start hanging out with, and all in a collective place that you like regularly see each other more or less.
Yeah. I mean, you and I, but ideally enough, I mean, interestingly enough, we met at a comedy show though.
Yeah.
Not at the art event.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like comedians are kind of artists a little bit.
They are. Comedy is art, surprisingly. I think it's the hardest form of art. So we were at Brooklyn Arcade. There was a comedy show, and I reached out to them, and I'm like, I want to make portraits of people at the comedy show. And you were one of the audience members. And I think that day, I can never forget the day.
No?
Yeah, I met you. I met other people who became friends. And that's kind of my introduction to
it was a good day.
Like
it was a good show.
stand-up comedy. It was low-key life-changing. Ugh.
Aw. Yeah, I guess that was a pretty it was a good show, that's for sure. I thought that the caricatures were very cool because that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And that made me want to do it too. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So.
Yeah, you were doing it for a while, right? At the Philly.
Yeah, I don't think I really do it that much anymore, but I was doing it for like maybe a year or so.
Yeah. Do you still want to go back to it or no?
I want to change it up. I want to not necessarily do caricatures, but like portraits, which is the same thing, I guess.
What's the difference between caricature and portrait?
I mean, like, I just, maybe I want to change the style that I'm doing. I think that's what it is, because it's pretty much the same thing still. So
you want to be more, I can see what you mean, like in the big, it's less so charactery, but more so fine art.
Yeah. I want it to look more like the person that I'm drawing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's I will still do it, but like we're talking about evolving, you know. Like there were moments when we were doing it, and then we grew out of it. And you want to move
is
on.
caricature still something that's like something you want to do?
Sorry?
Is that still something you want to do, the caricatures or the portraits at live shows?
I don't know. I would love to go not do like art at naked comedy show. That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
But at this point, I now do stand up that I wouldn't really go do it without getting paid.
Without what?
I don't want to go do it without getting paid.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to. I use that portrait thing to make myself known in the scene. That was a great way to like just plug myself in. I'm like, I am not one of those disgusting comedians, and I am here to make art. And turned out I actually want to be at a show because I am a disgusting comic. That's how it was. But now I don't really want to try so hard to like plug myself at a show.
I feel that for sure.
Yeah, but like if they really appreciate having artists around, if they offer good
pay,
treatment.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be at a corner at this point. I just want a solid table and opportunities to sell and like be a real business bitch as I should be.
Yes, very, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Ooh, you're making new color.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a darker shade so I can do the shadows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're almost reaching the end of the pod, but you briefly mentioned about your aspirations, but what is your goal as an artist?
Goal as an artist. I feel like I do give like quiet painterly. I don't know. I just thought. I'm so weak. Goal as an artist. I don't want to be plugging myself a whole lot. I want to make work that speaks to people in some way, but also is for myself and not like making it just because like, oh, I want to be in this show, or oh, this, and like things that are I guess not specific to me loving the art that I make. So I mean, that's a personal goal for art, but I feel like I also I want to do a few solo shows. I think that would be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to do some solo shows, and I would love one day when I'm like maybe older, maybe like 60 or something like that, I want to own a gallery or some galleries or some sort and be able to like put on shows for other artists. Or just maybe have my work in a gallery somewhere that stays there. I think that'd be cool too. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that, and please have my art there in your gallery. Please. Please have my art in your gallery, please. Yeah.
Of course, Nana.
I do think so. Like I see your art at like I told you about Alex Katz. I sent you information about this guy a long time ago. You don't have to know him. He's a white guy. But his art is is on the New York City Metro station, and his art is expensive. It's expensive.
That's true. That's another thing.
Yes.
Make expensive art. You know what? I would make art that's not just expensive. I would like meet someone and be like, here's my price according to what I think. Because I'm like, also, I wouldn't want someone who really likes and resonates with the piece to not be able to afford it if it's like ridiculous, you know? So, yeah.
It's a huge honor to have your painting sold. It's a big time honor. But yes, we'll make it there to, I don't know, MoMA. That's so huge. It sounds so cool.
What are your art goals?
My art goal. I need to think. I'm also artistically lost, like visual artistically lost, because I'm doing more performing art these days. But I think eventually I want to be remembered as a painter or visual artist. But for now, I don't really have a goal as a visual artist. I think I have a goal as, like a short-term goal-wise, I want this podcast to take off really well.
Yeah.
And I want to really dive into musical comedy. So art can wait for now.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Anyways, thanks Zara for coming
Thank you, Minji,
on to this
me.
pod. And listeners, we'll see you in the next episode.
All right.
Bye.